Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Thursday, September 27th, 2018. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. I know that Halloween is until the end of next month, but come this weekend, I know a few guys in the 212 division who might want to be on Reaper or Watch. Earlier in the week, we saw the newest update from 212 standout and Chris Aceto protege, David Robinson, who's planning to bring his talents to the stage again for the second time this season. According to my sources, and by my sources I mean texts with Aceto, Robinson is coming into the weekend looking the best that he's ever looked. So depending on how this lineup shapes up, I can certainly see a scenario where he ends up with a top call-out when the prejudging gets underway. I'm a firm believer that one of the real keys to success in life lies in our ability to consistently execute. When you've got a pro career that spans almost a decade and a half like Silvio Samuel, I think it's a pretty safe suggestion to say that consistent execution is one of your strong suits. Bright and early Monday morning, we saw the talented Mr. Samwell knocking out a few sets of some chest work in celebration of the time-honored tradition of International Chest Day. To his credit, Silvio Samuel still seems like he's firing on all cylinders after his long comeback season. And I'm sure I'm not the only one out there who wouldn't mind seeing him do it again next year and pull off a few pro victories. On paper, the men's open lineup at this weekend's Prague Pro looks like it might be wide open for the taking. A fact that I'm sure hasn't escaped the attention of our old buddy James Hollingshead, who's coming in as one of the early favorites. The UK powerhouse made his pro debut a few months back at the Stacked Tampa Pro Show, and I bet the sting from the lesson he learned there is probably still fresh in his mind. Hollingshead is a guy who just has a ton of quality muscle, so as long as his conditioning is where it needs to be, I wouldn't rule him out as a potential first call-out candidate. Early on in their careers, there are some guys who become addicted to the whole ebb and flow process of improvement. And I'm starting to get the vibe that men's physique standout Kyron Holden is one of those guys. A few weeks after putting together a brilliant 6th place Olympia finish, the second-year pro is looking to add another W to his resume this weekend when he hits the stage at the Legion Sports Fest Pro. I feel like this kid has gotten better every time I've seen him since he won his pro card at last year's USA Championships. And unless he comes in and completely misses the mark, I have a hard time thinking that he won't be right there in the running for a top slot come Saturday night. I've never really been a huge bowling guy, but every once in a while, when I do end up going, I can usually manage a strike or two once I catch my rhythm. But when you're in a rhythm the way that Shaun Clarida is right now, every time you roll one out there, it feels like you're about to mow them all down. Earlier this week, I caught wind that the 212 Giant Killer was planning to make a run at the Legion Sports Pro this weekend, where any betting man would have him locked in as a heavy pre-show favorite. The amount of quality and density that Shaun Clarida packs up there on that stage is almost unreal when you see him in person. So if he's 100%, it's pretty much good night sweetheart for anywhere else in the lineup. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions. And make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.